several years, I was inculcated with Nazi bullshit as part of a programming agenda coordinated by Grenville Lodge number 1787 through the Wiltshire Police Department. So it's interesting indeed. Grenville Lodge were tracking my movements all throughout Eastern Europe and are aware of my status as a hitman for the GRU. Indeed, it seems that there was some sort of overlap between British intelligence and the Soviet intelligence services in terms of the targets that I took out, i.e. 17 members of the Faith of Ishmael faith. Indeed, it's all very interesting. All of my targets, all 17, were Chechens, Azeris, and Kurds of the Faith of Ishmael. These operations were carried out as part of a programming mission, basically. Indeed, the Soviet military intelligence capacity were attempting to see if they could coordinate mind-controlled hitmen for counter-terrorist operations. Indeed, it's interesting to consider that all of my targets were involved in the kiddie porn industry and various child exploitation networks. So it's interesting to consider. Indeed, during my time at Grenville Lodge, I was basically assessed for the schizophrenic super spy program. Although I underwent an amnesia process, I was also trained as a schizophrenic super spy in Project Mindgate, which led to me being the recipient of coded hypnotism coordinated by Dr. Leonard Johnson, a Scientologist who operates at the Faculty of Arts at Cambridge University. Interestingly, it's all very interesting to note all of these interlinking functions of the British intelligence services and Russian intelligence services, and basically how I've got to the position I'm in today. Indeed, as a hitman, I was a mind-controlled assassin. Therefore, I was a Manchurian candidate. Indeed, British intelligence are aware of my status as a hitman for the GRU, carrying out a total of 17 hits during the years 2013 and 2014. Indeed, I spent some time at Vladimirovka Air Force Base under the coordination of GRU Colonel Sergei Borodin, who attempted to utilize me in several missions under trauma-based mind control programming. So it's all very interesting to note. Indeed, during my time in England after 2014, I was inculcated with a load of Nazi fetishist ideology by Wiltshire police operatives in an attempt to coordinate my programming towards British Crown leanings. Indeed, it's very interesting the amount of effort that the intelligence services of two nations have put into me. It's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, the input in Britain was coordinated again by Dr. Leonard Johnson, the Scientologist operative of MI6. So it's all very interesting indeed. The Cecil family are attempting to gain more knowledge of my whereabouts during the years 2013 to 2014 in an attempt to utilize codes that British intelligence recently stole off a Russian cell in Abkhazia that may be able to decrypt my programming and then encrypt my mind once again with British Crown oriented programming. Indeed, so very interesting to notice. Indeed, the organ trade in Russia is run by Abkhazians, interestingly. So it's interesting to consider. All of these networks are interlinking. Indeed, there are Georgian mob elements also involved in the Russian organ trade, operating out of Kutaisi, and indeed these are neo-Soviet elements, and they have an interest in the hacking of my brain by the GRU to ensure certain operations of the Kutaisi mob do not make it into the public domain. Indeed, this is not the most important topic for me. Indeed, Russian mob activities are the domain of other researchers. Indeed, right now I'm more concerned with the Roundway experiment and how the Roundway experiment has impacted on my life. Indeed, after my return to the United Kingdom, the Grenville Lodge guys basically spoke to the Wiltshire Police Department and ensured my designation as TF-84 within the Roundway experiment. Indeed, this is a continuation of the MI6 Mindgate program, just as was the Project Aniseed schizophrenic super spy training I went through at Grenville Lodge. Indeed, the focus, however, of the TF-84 program was on Nazi fetishism and the building of a neo-Nazi ideology within my hacked brain. Indeed, it's all very interesting to consider the ideology that I was known to speak of during this time was entirely inculcated by British intelligence operatives operating through Wiltshire Police. So it's all very interesting to consider that I was under mind control as part of a mind control experiment known as the Roundway experiment, designated TF-84, during this time. So my actions were not my own. Indeed, the British far right are becoming increasingly concerned about my Nazi exposures and are attempting to have me shut down by a network of local felines entrapping me in some way. However, I am wise to this possibility and therefore will not be coerced into entrapment. This is the thing. It's interesting that the Wiltshire Police have had to resort to entrapment mechanisms to attempt to get me off the internet, basically. Indeed, these exposures of Wiltshire Police are causing chaos at Devizes Wiltshire Police headquarters. It's interesting to consider the organ trade at Walter Rose and Sons links directly to a shadow network known as the Realist Black Order of Moloch Remfan Circle, which interestingly has a headquarters in Kutaisi, as well as one at Tiflis Seminary. Indeed, all of these networks are interlinking through the Society of Jesuits, who oversee child trafficking operations for the Vatican as aspects of the DVD. So it's all very interesting. And how do all of these networks interlink with Devizes? Indeed, Kutaisi mob elements oversee certain percentages of the organ traffic through Wiltshire as part of an overall GRU agenda that interconnects with the Wiltshire Police agenda. Indeed, as I've stated, I have been a victim of dual programming. Therefore, have gleaned information on how the Western cryptocracies interlink with Soviet ones, which is all very interesting for the intellectual mind to study. Indeed, as a parapsychotic, i.e. one of the 20 to 30% of psychiatric patients who are diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, who are in fact of a higher stage of evolution to the remainder of the society, it's all very interesting for me to analyze cryptocratic activities and how they interlink with each other. Indeed, the DVD are operative from various farms in Wiltshire, interestingly, through networks of local farmers who are attempting to turn Britain into a Nazi state. Indeed, this grassroots far-right network is operative for Reform and Restore UK, who are actually, in fact, grassroots networks that would lead to a Nazi agenda in the United Kingdom through networks that support Putin. Interestingly, it's all very interesting how Putin's boys interlink to all of this activity. Indeed, Putin's boys are donating large sums of money to far-right ideologues in an attempt to coordinate the activities of a future British Nazi state. So it's all very interesting to consider the foreign influences as well as the domestic ones in the implementation of a UK Gestapo-style police state. Indeed, there's mass media coverage of the supposed crimes of paranoid schizophrenics, but as I stated, these paranoid schizophrenics are being programmed in laboratories by British intelligence psychiatrists, just as I was by Dr. Leonard Johnson, a psychiatrist. Indeed, it's interesting to note that psychiatry as a profession has always been heavily interlinked with the intelligence services and is a key component of the cryptocracy, attempting to basically shrink the minds of those who are of a higher stage of evolution than the eugenicists, i.e., the 20 to 30% of psychiatric patients who are diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia found in mental wards and nut houses, who are actually of a higher stage of evolution than the eugenicists. Indeed, it's all very interesting to consider that these eugenicists believe themselves to be the master race, but are in fact topped in terms of evolutionary status by a bunch of lunatics. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, the Roundway experiment has cost many lives, and in the process has transformed the town of Devizes into a police corporation, effectively. Indeed, Devizes is a police corporation run by networks of Grenville Lodge number 1787 linked operatives within the Wiltshire Police setup. Indeed, Jerome Butler and Stephen Nash were coordinated by Professor John Drew of Grenville Lodge, an English professor who is a high-ranking Royal Arch Freemason, and decreed that I be given amnesia to forget the fact that I'd exposed Grenville Lodge number 1787 and the ritual sacrifices being conducted by the professors therein. Indeed, it's all very interesting how this interlinks. Indeed, Grenville Lodge number 1787 operatives are operative watching this channel to attempt to protect the name of the University of Buckingham from falling into disrepute. However, the University of Buckingham is itself a corporate front for intelligence activities, especially those of MI6, the CIA, and the DVD. Indeed, while I was resident at Grenville Lodge, there were various Dom occult networks observing me from the Mossad, who attempted to lure me into a trap, therefore gave me a very strong synthetic substance, and attempted to get me to confess to things that I hadn't done, which is all very interesting indeed. They then gave me an amnesia dose, so my memories of this occurrence are pretty sketchy, but I remember encountering several Dom occult operatives of Turkish heritage at Grenville Lodge, who attempted to lead me into a trap whereby I wouldn't be able to expose Grenville Lodge number 1787 for an intelligence front operating Hellfire Club agendas and Nazi fetishism. So it's all very interesting to note indeed. Professor Julian Lovelock is attempting to scrub his name from my exposures, which is all very interesting considering indeed Professor Julian Lovelock is a 34th degree Freemason, therefore is above the usual criteria of Freemasonic orders. Indeed, there are higher degrees than 33. Indeed, I believe there are 372 degrees of Freemasonry. Professor Julian Lovelock, the Chancellor of the University of Buckingham, is a 34th degree Freemason operating a Hellfire Club agenda. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, the networks of Devizes police, who are child rapists, are attempting to gain a hit on me again by networks of Albanian mobsters operating around the Grenville Lodge area. Indeed, all of this is interlinking. As I've stated, the Roundway experiment was itself a Grenville Lodge project done in accordance with Nazi psychiatrists. So it's interesting to note that Grenville Lodge number 1787 has a lot of influence in Wiltshire, despite Grenville Lodge number 1787 being located in Buckinghamshire. And this is because Grenville Lodge number 1787 is a police lodge, and Wiltshire is a police county. Indeed, the police seem to have more power in Wiltshire than any other county in the United Kingdom. And part of this is the reason why they've been able to set me up as a targeted individual here in Warminster. Indeed, networks of Devizes Police set this entire agenda up 6 years ago when I started exposing the Donmeg cult online and Devizes Police interconnectivity with the Albanian, Romanian, and Kurdish organ trades. Indeed, the Romanian percentages of the organ traffic interlinked with Devizes Police operate from Timișoara, which is a prime location, it seems, for ritual abuse activities coordinated by the British police. Indeed, there is an overlay between Romanian mafia elements and satanic syndicates operating this organ traffic via Timișoara, interconnecting with Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop. Indeed, it's very interesting how this all interlinks. Indeed, the Chisinau police attempted to involve themselves with the Timișoara mob, but basically the Grenville Lodge guys didn't want to share the profits, i.e. Devizes Police didn't want to share the profits with the Chisinau police. Therefore, this is wholly a Devizes Police operation. Indeed, Devizes Police are dominating the trade of guns for organs with Kurdish militants through networks of Romanian mobsters interlinked with satanic syndicates operating out of Timișoara. So it's all very interesting to analyze. Indeed, the Albanian headquarters for this trade is in Tetovo, which is in Macedonia, where the Turan Teki is located. Indeed, this is a key stop point for various trades that interconnect with the Devizes Police network. Indeed, it's all very interesting. Indeed, a lot of the experimentation done at Roundway was a lot of the time to silence witnesses of the organ traffic being coordinated by Devizes Police. So it's all very interesting how all of these networks interlink and find a meeting point at Wiltshire Police Headquarters in Devizes, which happens to be on the same street as Wiltshire's Yellow House, i.e. Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop, which is the key component in this whole organ trafficking agenda. Indeed, Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop in Devizes have claimed if I continue to bring their reputation into disrepute, they will send an army of butchers to slaughter me, which is interesting indeed. There are various networks in Devizes that have a fantasy about me being raped, defiled, and slaughtered by butcher Freemasons on the butcher's slab. And therefore I will become another victim of the Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop Masonic butchers cult agenda. Indeed, it seems this Masonic butchers cult are operative for DVD networks operating out of Leipzig. So it's all very interesting to consider how all of this interlinks. Indeed, Remfan networks, i.e. the Black Brotherhood of Moloch, are operative via Georgian mob networks to oversee certain operations that concern Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop that interlink themselves to Abkhazia, Gagauzia, Moldova, and the Nagorno-Karabakh region, which is now part of Azerbaijan, which is a key hub for organ trafficking coordinated by Russian military elements in tandem with Kutaisi mob activities. So it's all very interesting to consider how all of this interlinks back up to Wiltshire Police who themselves have a stake in all of this organ traffic. So it's all very interesting to consider, and it's all rather horrible, especially for the children of these regions who have to witness certain crimes carried out by satanic syndicates and organ harvesters who are all coordinated by Wiltshire Police. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, I'm going to leave it there now.